everybody. How's your evening going? I hope you guys had a wonderful day. I had an amazing day and a really good start to my day because I woke up around 4 a.m. and I got a text message from John Crimes telling me that I reached 1K subscribers on my channel. So it was a great way to start my morning. I felt good all day. I think it's been about 4 or 5 days, maybe 6, since my last post, and I got 1K subscribers in just 5-6 days. So I'm really excited. To everyone who is new to my page, to my channel, thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for your support. You guys don't understand how happy this makes me, and I'm excited to see my channel grow, and I'm excited to reach just tons of people, and I can't wait to see how this evolves, and I can't wait to just be a part of changing people's lives. So thank you guys for that. I'm really excited to have this channel. I'm really excited to have this platform now where I'm able to express myself, because I feel like expression is very important. And people express themselves in different ways. You know what I mean? People express themselves through music, poetry, art, journaling, in whatever way that you express yourself. I think it's very important because you have to let those emotions that you're feeling inside out. You can't keep anything bottled in. So expressing yourself is a good way to release those emotions. And this channel helps me do that. When I was younger, I was very expressive. I had no problems telling anyone how I felt. I was very vocal. I was very outgoing. I said what I felt, there was no hesitation. I was just always that person to speak my mind. But that changed for me after the assault. And it didn't happen right after the assault. It happened eventually because I was able to suppress everything that happened to me when I was 15 for quite some time. I just went about my life like it didn't happen. I felt like if I did that, if I just lived my life like a normal teenager, then I wouldn't have to deal with the way I was feeling about what happened to me that night. And I was able to do that for about 3 years. But around like my senior year in high school, it got tough. You know what I mean? And all those emotions and feelings that I had bottled up inside of me, it just came bubbling to the surface. And I could no longer control the way that I felt. And I ended up going into like full hermit mode, you know what I'm saying? To where I didn't want to deal with anybody. I didn't talk to anybody. I was like in this shell. And I stayed to myself for a long time. I had a hard time communicating with people. I developed social anxiety. I developed depression, PTSD, and just all sorts of things were happening to me. And I was just somebody else that I didn't even recognize. And it was hard for me. And I dealt with that for years and years. And I just now, recently, starting to really come out and starting to appreciate who I am, and starting to understand that it's okay to be who I am today. Understanding that I'm no longer who I was when I was 15 years old. I may not be as vocal as I was back then, but I am who I am today, and where I am is okay. I had to come to terms with that because for a long time I was battling myself and trying to be who I was before, not realizing that that is also a part of the problem, and I have to accept where I am. So yeah, I battled with that for years. And like I said, I'm just now getting into a place where I'm starting to feel more comfortable within myself, and I'm starting to love on myself more. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to just make sure that you release that energy that is within you, and however you feel led to do that. And for me, I'm learning that communication is one of those ways that helps me, because when you don't release all of that emotion, it ends up turning into anxiety. It ends up turning into negativity. You know, it ends up turning into a whole bunch of just negative emotions that you don't really want, you know, to be in your life. So I'm thankful for this channel. I'm thankful for being able to express myself more. And I'm glad that you guys are a part of that, because, you know, we can have discussions. You know, you guys can tell me how you feel in the chat. And then when I go live, we can have these discussions. So it's really important to me. And I'm glad to be in this space. And I'm glad to have this platform. I want to talk a little bit about why survivors are reluctant to come out, or why they're hesitant to come out. And then I'm going to talk about my experience with coming out, because a lot of you are just becoming aware of my story. So you don't really know the struggle that I had with coming out when I came out 3 years ago. I think that a lot of survivors are afraid to come out because backlash. They don't want to receive backlash. They're afraid of how people may receive them. They're afraid of if people are going to believe them. They're afraid of what people are going to think. You know what I'm saying? And I know people always say, well, you know, if something happens to you, then speak on it, tell someone right away. Even in your family, you know, you may have heard, you know, hey, if something happens to you, tell someone, communicate that. But I don't feel like it's really safe for a lot of survivors to open up to people and tell them exactly what they're feeling and what's happened to them. It happens in the household, and it happens outside of the household. You know what I mean? You have a lot of survivors that have actually come to family members and told them what has happened to them, and those family members sweep everything under the rug and you know, just want to go about life as if it has never happened. They want to forget about it. They don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? And then you have people who come out and tell, you know, friends, or in my case, you know, speak about it in the public eye. And they are talked about. They are scrutinized. They're made fun of. So we tell survivors to speak up, but we don't really offer a safe place, a safe environment for them to really speak about what they have went through. And it's sad, because a lot of survivors go from being traumatized behind closed doors to then expressing themselves to people and telling people what happened to them, and they're traumatized all over again. You see what I'm saying? So it's really difficult. When I came out in 2018, I came out on the Star show. Star was actually the first person to break the story. He was the first person to give me the platform, and I think I mentioned that in my last video. I knew that I was going to receive some level of backlash, but I don't think I was prepared for what I received. Like, it was crazy. I had people coming at me from all angles. Like, I had people on social media coming at me. I had people coming at me in my emails. I had magazine editors coming at me, twisting my story, making up things and all these scenarios and things of that nature. I had people blaming me for what happened. I had people blaming my mom for what happened. Instead of looking at the bigger picture and asking the right questions, they were asking all the wrong questions and blaming me. So I would take a step back from social media. I did that a lot back then. So, you know, I'd be on my Twitter or my Instagram page, and I'd be very active, but then all of a sudden I would stop. And it wasn't because I gave up. It was because I was mentally drained. You feel me? Now, I have a family. My family depends on me. You know what I mean? I am my family's rock. I have children who depend on me for everything, and they are always first and foremost in my life. So I had to take a step back because mentally it was putting me in a place where I was very unhappy, and I was finding myself getting back into that mode of depression, and I didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? So for my mental health and my physical health, I had to take a few steps back, and I had to stop, and I had to just get away from all the chaos because it was chaotic. I had YouTubers coming at me. I had people coming up with their own theories about my story. I had people talking about my story as if they were there. I had people talking about me as if they knew me on a personal level. I had people talking about my story as if they lived it, which was crazy to me because you can't tell me how I feel. You can't tell me what I've been through. You feel me? You can't tell me anything about me. You can't tell me anything about my story because I lived it. It's my story. It's my truth. So when I finally decided to come back, I said I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to stay away from the drama. I'm going to stay away from the chaos. And I'm going to focus solely on helping survivors. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is my main goal, and I want to make that clear to everyone, you know, and that's the road that I'm taking. I want to focus solely on helping survivors because they need a safe place. They need a place where they can feel supported, you know, because the very people who are supposed to support and embrace and love on survivors, a lot of times they don't. You know what I mean? So I want to be that. You know, I want to be that avenue. I want to be that vessel. I want to be that person that comes in and says, okay, I got you. What do you need? You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. And that's why I'm just so happy to have this channel, and I can't say it enough how happy I am to be in this place. And it took a long time. It took a long time. Healing, oh my God. Healing is healing is it's a beautiful thing, but it's also very, very, very tough. Especially with the type of healing I was doing, because I had to hold myself accountable for a lot of things, not in just in the situation that I went through when I was 15, but the situations that transpired after, the things that I allowed, you know what I'm saying, as a result of the trauma. You know, me being a vulnerable little girl and just allowing certain things to happen after the trauma, you know, relationships that I was in, not knowing my worth and not valuing myself, you know. But then again, I was young and I didn't know any better. But I had to take accountability for a lot of what went on in my life. And I think once I learned to take accountability for my actions, once I learned that certain things that happened in my life were not my fault, once I learned to release and let go of things that I had no control over and that I could not change, once I learned to love the person I am today, that's when the change started happening. That's when I started to become stronger. Once I learned to not let people's opinion of me or of my story get the best of me or make me crumble and fold. You know what I'm saying? Once I learned that, I was able to move forward in a different place to where I can now be of service to other people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I really feel like, though, I'll probably be on this healing journey for most of my life. And not just healing from what happened, but just healing in general, because I feel like every single day I'm finding out things about myself that I want to improve on. So I'm going to be forever evolving. You feel me? Like it doesn't just stop. You know, it's something that keeps on going and going. And if you want to get better and if you want to evolve, then you have to continuously heal. Everything that I'm doing now, I'm going to have to continue to do to make sure that I'm strong, to make sure that I'm staying in alignment, to make sure that I'm grounded. You feel me? To make sure that I am in a place where I can offer myself, to make sure that I'm energetically ready to offer myself. Because when you give yourself, you have to make sure that energetically you have it to give. You know what I mean? I can't just be out here just giving and giving and giving and being depleted and not having anything for myself or for my family. So I have to make sure that I'm doing these things. And what I do is I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of affirmations, you know what I mean? I spend a lot of time just in solitude. I like going to the mountains by myself. So all of these things are important for me to keep doing so that I can continue to be of service and be a vessel to help heal others. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna leave it there. You guys are gonna see more of me as promised. If you guys would like to donate to my GoFundMe, I'm going to leave that link in the description box. Also, if you would like to visit my website, the House of Ascension, I will leave that in the description box. Also, if you would like to connect with me on Instagram and on Twitter, I will also leave that. Once again, just want to say thank you guys for all of your support. Also want to let you guys know, if you'd like to reach out to me via email, you can do so by contacting me at justiceforclosure@gmail.com. That's justice, the number 4, closure@gmail.com. Okay? Thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye.